for joining me today for this class. Today's class is going to be focusing on all of my favorite things. So we're going to be working on core, abs, and our lower body. I did make a playlist for this class. You can maybe hear it in the background, but I also have it linked underneath so that you can play it along while we work out. As you can see, I do have the options of a resistance band loop, as well as a couple of ankle weights here. Totally not mandatory, just that option for extra spice if you have these things at home, but if you don't, the workout is still hard and difficult without them. So just a little bit of extra spice if you want it. Just before we start today's class, I just want to remind everybody of our Pilates breathing. We inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, we purse our lips like we're breathing out through a straw, and every time we exhale, we're thinking of tightening through that core and that waistline. So let's get started. We're going to start on an all-fours position. So I want your hands directly underneath your shoulders. I want your knees separated and underneath your hips, all right? We're going to start by just pulling that low belly up, trying to keep that nice long line through the spine. All right, so we're going to take a nice deep inhale. On your exhale, we're going to reach our left arm forward, right leg up nice and high, keeping a straight spine as we reach. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, we reach other side, right arm forward, left leg up nice and high, pulling that belly in. Inhale, arms and knees come down. Keep going side to side. Exhale, reach left arm forward, right leg nice and high. Inhale, coming down. Keep going side to side, just warming that core up through that balance challenge. Be very mindful of your low back here. So as we reach that leg up nice and high, I want your low belly to pull in to prevent from hyperextending at that low back. Good. Left arm forward, right leg up. One more on the other side. Right arm forward, left leg up. Good. And then I want everybody to reach the left arm forward, right leg up, and we hold nice and still, and then tiny little pulses. Up. Up. So both the arm and the leg pulsing up, up. Using your glutes and hamstrings to lift that leg high. Good. Pulling that belly in the whole time for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Pull it down, and we switch to the other side. Right arm forward, left leg up nice and high. Hold first, then we pulse, pulse, pulse. Shh, shh. Good. Leaning towards that left side, just making sure you're not leaning too far to the right. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and you can pull it down. Just a quick little warm up for that core. Okay, from here, we're going to lie down onto our backs, and I want your feet to be hip distance apart. I want you to be able to almost touch your heels here. Don't have your feet too far away from you. A nice bend. We're just going to work through our pelvis a little bit, get our core turned on some more. So hands are down by your sides. You can see when we're neutral, we have this nice natural curve through the low back. I want you to imagine if there was a blueberry under your low back, we would be using what we call in Pilates an imprint to squish that blueberry. In other words, we take a nice deep inhale. On our exhale, we use our abdominals to pull our stomach nice and tight, and we squish that blueberry, flattening the low back onto the mat. Inhale, come back to neutral. Again, we just rock our pelvis, using the abdominals to pull our pelvis towards us, squishing the blueberry. Inhale, come back to neutral. Again, exhale, pulling in tight. So I should not be able to put my hand underneath your low back. I want it nice and snug against the mat. Inhale, come back to neutral. Let's just do a few more. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. Neutral. On our next one, I want you to pull those abdominals in nice and tight. Again, low back is on the mat, and now I want you to keep the low back on the mat. We're going to lift our right leg up to tabletop and our left. So in tabletop, I want your knees directly over your hips. I don't want them too close towards you, because then you're not going to get that lower abdominal work. So I want your knees far enough away from you that they are over top of the hips, and then we have this nice 90-degree bend. Good, so we're just going to have our hands down by our sides for now. Take a nice deep inhale. On your exhale, you're going to keep that bend your right toe down towards the edge of the mat. Inhale, bring it up. Left toe down towards the mat. Inhale, bring it up. My head is staying down for now. All we're doing right now is just figuring out how to keep that low back down towards the mat by pulling those abdominals nice and tight as that heavy leg moves away and comes back in. Good. Keep pulling those abdominals nice and tight. As the leg moves away, you pull even tighter through the front of the stomach. Good. Still squishing that blue berry. 2 more on each side. Then we're going to make it a little bit harder. Using that exhale as the leg goes away. Inhale up. Last one on the left side. Inhale, bring it up. You can bend your knees, bring them down for just a quick moment. And again, you come back to that neutral. Okay, so take a quick breather. Now again, we're going to go back into that imprinted position. So I want you to pull your abdominals tight, pulling your low back down towards the mat. Legs come back up to that nice tabletop position. This time, guys, you're going to reach your hands behind your head. We're going to keep a slight tuck of chin to chest. We pull our upper body high. This time, we're going to straighten the right leg, nice and long and straight. Inhale, pull it in. Straighten the left leg, nice and long and straight. Inhale, pull it in. Good. Keep going side to side. Exhaling as the leg goes away. Inhaling as you pull it in. Exhaling as it goes away. Inhale, pulling in. Good. If you need a little bit of help coming up, you can pull your hand behind your thighs just to help yourself come up a little bit more. Good. Right leg straightens. Good. Just one more on each side. Last one. Good. Leave your legs in tabletop. You can just bring your head and neck down. If you do have neck issues, guys, feel free to leave the head down and just do the leg aspects. Otherwise, we are going to go into a more of an oblique focus exercise now. So keeping our knees over our hips again. You can pull yourself up into a nice high ab prep position. Hands come behind the head. We're going to straighten that left leg, leave it straight, leave the right leg in tabletop. We come up and over towards that right leg, just to the right side. Good. Up and over. For 6, 5. Last 3. Last one. Woo. Oh, you should feel a nice burn through that right side. Okay, we're going to go on to the other side. So you can just take a quick little break first. Then I want you to find that nice strong imprint. Legs coming back up to tabletop. Again, pulling ourselves up into a nice high ab prep position. Hands behind the head. This time we straighten the other leg, the right leg. And then we come up and over towards the left side. Up and over towards the left side. Good. Keeping your elbows nice and wide. For 6. 3. Last 2. And you can pull your knees in and just take a quick little moment. Good, rocking back and forth. Good, from here, we're just gonna rock on up. So we should be feeling quite warm through the abdominals now. I know I am. So we're just gonna make sure, as we sit in this position here, again, I don't want your feet too close towards you. I want them far away from you just so that they're a little bit past the knees here. So this time, find your sit bones on the mat. Your hands are going to start out in front of you. We're going to pull our shoulders out of our ears, and we're going to slowly roll down into a nice half roll back position. So make sure when you roll down, you're pulling your ribs towards your hips, and your arms are reaching forward. Good, keep pulling that low belly in. I don't want to see you extending through the low back. I want it to stay nice and curled here from your tailbone to your neck. Good, slight tuck of chin to chest. We're going to slowly hold this position as we slowly lift the left arm up and down. Right arm up and down. Left arm up, down. Right. Keep using that exhale. Just 4 more on each side. Nice and straight arm. Last 2. Last one. And you can come forward. Take a quick little break. Good, so again, I want you to be able to really find that nice tuck of the tailbone as you roll down, making sure you're keeping your ribs towards your hips. Good, we're gonna make it a little bit harder. Hands out in front of us again. Nice, long, and straight. Again, we're gonna tuck that tailbone. We're gonna roll down into that nice low C-curve position, just behind the sit bones. Good, from here, we're gonna now leave the arms straight this time. And then we're gonna exhale, lift the right leg up to a nice high tabletop. Bring it down. Left leg lifts up and down. Exhale, right leg up and down. Other leg. So we're just keeping that nice C shape, arms straight as we lift that weight of the leg up and down. Exhale up, inhale down. Pulling those shoulders out of those ears. Nice strong exhales, guys. 4 more on each side. Lift that leg up nice and high. Last 3. Last 2. 1 more on each side. You got this. And you can come forward, take a quick little break. Okay, from here, we are going to do one more thing in that half roll back position. So I want your hands forward again, just as you roll down. So pull those shoulders out of your ears, finding that nice C curve. This time I want you to bring your hands in front of you in prayer. Leave your elbows wide. We're going to keep this position through the legs, and we're just going to twist our left elbow towards the floor. Inhale forward. Twist the right elbow towards the floor and forward. If it's too much for you, you can keep the arms straight in front. Just makes it a little bit less weight against the abdominals. Last 2. 1 more on each side. And you can come forward. Okay, let's give the abs just a quick little break here. We're going to use our resistance band in this one. Again, if you don't have a resistance band, don't worry about it. But if you do, we're going to take the band and we're going to place it over top of around both legs, just above the knee joint. So not on the knee joint and not under, just above, so it's around both of your thighs. And then we're going to lie down onto our backs. Good. Okay, so from here, I again want your heels nice and close towards you, again, so that you can almost touch your heels. And then I want your knees sit bone distance apart. If you are using a band, make sure the band does not pull your knees together. So keep your knees separated in line with the hips. We're going to have our hands down by our sides, and we're just going to use our exhale as we roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, pulling that belly in. Good. I want you to stay at the top. I just want to talk about a couple of things. So come up nice and high. First of all, we're using our glutes. We're twisting through the glutes to lift those hips up nice and high. I want you to keep your ribs down nice and low, so I don't want them to pop up. Okay, this is not a yoga back bend. It's a nice bridge position, so keep those ribs down. Good, and then try and relax to the neck and shoulders here. I want you to keep a long spine at the top, and then we're going to slowly exhale, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, pulling that belly in so that you can get the low back to touch the mat. Let's go a little bit quicker here. Exhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, find that long line through the body. Exhale, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Exhale, roll up, squeeze the bum, scoop the belly. Good. Inhale at the top. I want you to think of a massage for the spine as you roll down. Massage every vertebrae on the way down. Good. Exhale, squeeze the bum, scoop the belly, roll up. Hold at the top, twisting through those glutes. Exhale, rolling down. Good. Should feel really nice on the spine, and you should feel those glutes and hamstrings warming up. Exhale, rolling down. 2 more. Squeeze the bum, scoop that low belly, roll up. Finding that long line every time, ribs down, ribs down. Exhale, roll down. On your next one, guys, let's roll up and stay. So find yourself at the top. If you are not using a resistance band, you're just going to simply let your knees push out to the sides while keeping the hips high. Inhale, bring it in. If you are using a resistance band, same thing, but we're going to press out against the resistance band. Inhale, pull the knees into neutral. Exhale, out with the knees. Inhale in. Make sure that when you go out with the knees, you're keeping your hips high. I don't want them dropping down as you come up. I want them to stay high, pushing the knees out to the sides. Good. So working those side bum muscles as we keep our hips up with our glute max. Keeping those ribs down, keep the core engaged. For 4. Last 3. Last 2. Exhale out. Last 1. Inhale, knees come in. I'm going to give you 1 roll down. A little bit of active recovery. If you need to move your band around, this is a good time. Okay, again, setting up. I want you to come up nice and high and stay. Good. From here, we're leaving our knees neutral for right now, so the knees are in line with the hips. We start in that nice high position. Instead of articulating the spine here, guys, I want you to just fold at the hips, come down and up. So your hips are coming only about just to almost tap the floor and right back up. Hips almost tap the floor, right back up. So just hinging at the hips, right back up. Make sure every time you come back up, guys, you're thinking of squeezing and twisting through both sides of your glutes. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. Inhale down. If you want a little bit more challenge here, you can reach your arms towards the ceiling. Just a little bit less support for that upper body. Good. Inhale almost all the way down. I want 6 more. Yes. Inhale down for 5. Come on, guys. Keep breathing. For 4. Every time you come up, you're going as high as you can. Good. Last 2. We're not done. On your next one, come up, stay. If you have your resistance band, push out into the band. If you don't, just get those knees out nice and wide. Keep them wide. Same thing. We come down about halfway. Right back up. But we're keeping our knees wide this time. Be very mindful of your ribs, guys. Okay, I don't want them to stay up too much as you come down. I want you to allow the ribs to drop down slightly with the hips. So same thing, but now our knees are nice and wide. Getting a little bit more of that side bum action. Down and up. Down and up. Keep using that exhale. Exhale on the hardest part as you come up. Inhale down. All right, I want 7 more. I want you to feel this. Good. Squeezing nice and deep through those glutes every time. Last 3, yes you can. Last 2. Last 1. Knees come back into neutral. Roll back down. And just take a quick little breather. Good. One more thing before we move on. Again, if you have a resistance band, we're going to leave it there. If you don't have a resistance band, it's the exact same thing, just not quite as intense. So we're going to lift the left leg up into a tabletop position. Right leg stays down. Resistance band or not, it's going to be the same. So left leg up, right leg down, hands down by your sides. I want you to keep a nice long line, and we're just going to simply shoot the hips up, and inhale, bring them down. If you are using a resistance band, make sure you don't allow that leg to get pulled towards the other leg. I want you to keep that thigh nice and close towards you. So just a little bit harder now with only that right leg to pull us up and down. If you need to bring the left foot down to help, please do. Otherwise, try and keep it to just that right leg. Up and down. Finding that nice long line at the top. Good. For 3, 2. On your next one, come up and stay. Tiny pulses. Down, down. Tiny pulses. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Whew. We have to do the other side, and then we're gonna move on, okay? So I want you again to have that left foot down this time, right leg up. Doesn't matter if you're using your resistance band, it's the same thing. I want that knee over top of the hip, hands down by your sides. When you're ready, here we go. Left leg presses us up and down. Left leg up and down. Good. Nice high hips every time if you can. If you're not getting as high with the one leg, that is normal because it is so much harder to lift with only one leg. But just go up as high as you can and make sure you don't start to compromise to that upper body, okay? Keep that nice long line as you lift up. Good. Keep pulling that right thigh towards you. Good. Last two before we stay up. On your next one, come up and stay. You know what to do. Tiny pulses. Down, down. For 5. Just 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and come on down. You can hug your knees in towards your chest. Just take a quick moment. Okay, so let's roll on up just a little bit. We're gonna come onto our right elbow. So going more into that side bump. If you have a resistance band, this is seriously great with a resistance band. Again, if you don't, not a big deal. It's still hard without the resistance band. So we're gonna be onto our right elbow. I want that elbow underneath your shoulder, okay? Not underneath you. I want it underneath the shoulder. This time, guys, we're gonna do it a little bit more hip, external hip and glute mean, so side bump, focused. So this time I want your knees bent. You should have 2 90-degree angles. You should have a 90-degree angle here and a 90-degree angle behind the legs. Your knees should be just directly in front of your hips, and then your heels should be in line. So you should have a nice position here with the heels aligned with the knee, knees aligned with the hips. I don't want your knees too far back towards the back of the mat. Your kneecaps should be directly forward. Okay, from here we stay propped up, nice and active through that bottom waistline. Very simple, we're just gonna keep our leg nice and straight as we lift up and down. That's it. When you lift up, try to keep that top hip nice and stacked on top of the bottom hip. It wants to roll back, don't let it. Keep it nice and steady. Good. So if you did my booty blast class, this is similar to the long leg lifts that we are doing, but this just gets a little bit more of that external hip area. And again, without the resistance band, it will still get nice and spicy for you, don't worry. Okay, just last 2. Keep pulling out from that right shoulder. On your next one, lifting that leg, keeping it nice and high. Make sure your knee, heel, and your hip are all in line. I don't want that heel down or up. Okay, so it should be up in line with the hip. From here, we're just gonna simply start some nice big circles. As you circle around, try not to change the bend in your knee. So keep that nice 90-degree bend behind the knee. And we're just simply pretty much moving our kneecap in some nice big circles. Good. Yeah, keep that wide bend behind the knee. I don't want your heel pulling towards your bum. Good. And again, without the resistance band, you're still gonna feel that side bum working nice and hard. Last one this way, and reverse, other way, whatever direction you weren't just going. It might feel a bit awkward to keep that bend in the knee as you circle. You just want to focus on the kneecap, making nice big circles here. Good. Should be feeling that left side working really hard for 2 more. Last one. And you can bring that leg down. Whew. Should feel some work in that left side. We're gonna do one more quick set on this left side before we switch over, okay? So again, keeping that bend behind the knee. We're gonna lift that leg back up, nice and high in line with the hip, and then we do tiny pulses at the top. just going a little bit higher for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last one, and you can bring it down. Good job, guys. Let's just go straight into the other side. So rolling onto your left elbow now. Okay, again, making sure your left elbow is directly under your left shoulder. I definitely don't want it too far towards your leg. So underneath your left shoulder. Again, kneecaps are directly forward. I don't want your knees too far back. So keep them that nice 90-degree bend with your torso and a nice big bend behind the knees. I don't want your heels towards your bum. Keep that nice 90-degree bend. You can use your front hand in front of you for some balance support. And then as we reach, we just simply lift the whole leg up and down, keeping those hips stacked. Good. Nice. Again, making sure your heel is lifting up. I don't want clamshells, okay? I want that heel to come up. Ooh, if you're a runner like me, this is gonna feel very intense for those external rotators with the hip. Good. Or just in general, even no matter what you do, this is gonna be difficult. Good. Good. Keeping those hips stacked. Last two. Last one. Good. You can take a quick little break if you need to. We are going to go into those circles. So lifting the leg up, keeping that shape, and then we just start by going back, up, and forward. Good. Keep pulling up from that bottom waistline. And again, don't worry too much about like the shape of the leg might feel awkward. Just think about that kneecap. Nice big circles. Moving that femur around in that hip joint. Good. Good. Keep breathing. Last 3, 2, last one, and reverse, other way. Good. Whatever way you weren't circling. Good. Keep that nice bend behind the knee if you can. Good. 4. Woo. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. Ooh. Take a quick little break. I know I need one. Ooh, you should feel a lot happening right here. Okay, one more set of those tiny pulses at the top. Take breaks when you need to, guys. Otherwise, we're just going to get it over and done with. So lifting the whole leg up, find that nice hip height, and then go higher, higher, tiny pulses. Keep activating through that bottom waistline. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, good job. Okay, from here, you can come on up. If you have that resistance band on, go ahead and take it off. All right, so we're moving on, still working through our glutes and our hamstrings here. This is one of the exercises where if you do have ankle weights, this is so great with ankle weights. If you don't, still hard. Okay, you can use one ankle weight or you can use both. So I am going to choose to put both ankle weights on my one leg. So we're going to start with let's start with the left leg here. So if you have both ankle weights, you can put both of them on the left leg or just one of them on the left leg or neither. You can have no ankle weights and it's still hard. Okay, so from here, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Again, I want your knees underneath your hips, shoulders over top of the wrists. Keep a nice long neutral spine here, guys. Trying not to arch the low back at any point. Keep that nice long spine. From here, we're going to just simply straighten our left leg behind us. All right, I want you to keep nice even balance between both hands of your right knee. And we're just going to simply lift that leg up and down. And down. and down. I know it might look ridiculous with both of the ankle weights on my one leg, but it does just add that extra bit of weight, but it's still hard without the ankle weight. So whatever you're doing, you should be feeling that burn through that left side, keeping your leg nice and straight, keeping that low back steady, using the core. Good, using that exhale as you come up. Keep breathing. Keep your neck long by keeping your gaze just down in front of the mat. I don't want you looking forward towards the horizon. I want your gaze down onto the floor. Good, just 5 more. Last 3. Last 2. On your next one, coming up nice and high, bending at that knee, lift, lift, tiny pulses, tiny pulses. Keep pulling that heel towards the back of your head, keeping that nice deep bend into the knee. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Coming down, taking a quick little break. We're gonna do it again on that left side. I know, we just worked that left side, but I want you to feel that burn quite a lot on that left side. Staying in this position, don't worry, I'll give your wrists a break after this next set. So again, staying on the right knee, left leg straightens back. If you want this to be harder, guys, you can reach your right arm forward, and then you lift up, and you keep that right arm reaching forward. Just make sure that if you are doing that, you're not moving the spine as the leg goes up. I want that spine straight. Good. Keep leaning into that left hand, staying nice and neutral. Good. For 5, 4, last 3, 2. On your next one, up, bend, tiny, little kicks. Use your exhales. For 7, 2, last one, and bring it down. Good job. So you can take the ankle weights off of that left leg. Before we do the other side, we're just gonna go into a little side plank series before we move on to that other leg. So, okay, so we're on that left elbow. I want your legs long in line with the rest of the body. For our side plank, we can either have our knee down. If you do have shoulder issues with this left shoulder, please leave your knee down. Otherwise, it can be a lot of strain on the left shoulder if you have anything going on. You can also have the feet separated, about hip width apart, or you can have your feet stacked for the full version. So we're going to just simply prop ourselves up. Again, knee down is a great option if you need to go there. Otherwise, finding a nice high side plank. I want as much space underneath your hips as possible. Hand up towards the ceiling or on your hips. Good, and we're just going to hold for 10. Good, keep your strong exhale. Think lifting from the bottom waistline the whole time. Nice big amount of space under the hips. From here, we dip halfway down, right up. Halfway down and up. Think of that bottom set of obliques crunching to lift up. Good. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and you can come down. Whew, you can take a quick little break as you come over to the other side. So we are going to start again with that all fours with the leg lifting. So again, using the same weight that you used for the other side. So if you did no ankle weights, I want you to do the same. If you did 1 or 2, I want you to do the same on this side. It's really important that we work both legs evenly. I know we're getting tired and fatigued, but I need you to use the same amount of weight on this right leg as we did for the other side. So coming into that all fours position again, I need your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Good. Okay, from here, we want to keep that nice long straight spine. We're straightening through that right leg. Good, and we're just going to keep that long spine as we lift the leg up and down. Good. Good, lifting nice and high. Again, if you need that extra bit of challenge, guys, you can reach your left arm forward and just balance on that left knee and the right hand, or you can keep both hands down. Lift nice and high. Nice and high. Good, keep pulling that belly up away from the floor. Just keep in mind, this is the first of 2 sets, right? So just prepare yourselves emotionally to keep doing this for a little while. Good, so 4 more before we keep that leg up. Good, on your next one, lifting nice and high. Bend that heel in and lift, lift. Keep lifting. Think of lifting the heel to the ceiling. Heel to the ceiling. For 8. Last one. And you can bring it down. Woo, just take a quick little break. Okay, so we are going to do it again. Those wrists might be starting to talk to you, so you can come onto the fist. If you do have wrist issues, you can come onto your forearms as well. If you're on your forearms, just making sure you're trying to keep that long line. Otherwise, onto the hands, we're almost done. When you're ready, straighten that right leg, keeping that spine straight again, being mindful that you're not arching through the back of the neck. I want that long spine as you lift. Let's go. Your glutes and hamstrings lifting up nice and high. Use that exhale. Again, reaching the left arm forward if you want that extra plank challenge. If both hands are down, still think about leaning towards the right hand just to keep those obliques working. Good. Keep exhaling. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2. On your next one, lifting up, bend, heel lifts. Good. Pulsing at the top. Nice and high. Keep that back nice and straight. For 8. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Oh, and you can take a little break. Okay, from here, we're going to take those weights off, put them off to the side, and going into that side plank on the right side. Okay, so again, just a few things to think about. I want that right elbow under your right shoulder, nice amount of space under that bottom waistline, and then we're going to straighten our legs in line with the body. Again, if you have any injuries on the right shoulder, or if the last side was too much for your shoulder, keep that bottom knee down. Still nice and difficult with the bottom knee down, top leg straight, or feet separated or stacked. So when you guys are ready, we're going to prop up. So come nice and high. Again, that's all about as much space underneath your hips as possible. Arm up and hold. Good. Keep breathing. You can try smiling. It might help a little bit too. For 10, going into those dips. In 5, 4, 3, 2, come halfway down, right back up. Halfway down, right back up. And lift. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And you can come down. Whew. Good job, guys. So we are going to do 2 more exercises. We're going to do a little bit of extension work, then we're going to finish off with the plank, and then you guys are all done. So just stay with me for a few more minutes, okay? So we come onto our hands and knees, onto our bellies. I need you to make sure that you have enough room in front of you for your your hands to move and enough room behind you for your legs to move. Okay, so when you're ready, I want your hands towards the front corners of your mat, and your feet are going to be separated to the width of your mat as well. Externally rotated with our inner thighs rotating downwards towards the mat, so external rotation. A few things here. I need you to pull the belly up off the floor. Make sure your neck stays long by keeping your gaze at the floor. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. And then when you're ready, we're going to pull the belly up, and we're going to use our mid-back muscles of our core to lift up, glutes and hamstrings lifting the legs, and inhale, come down. Exhale, lift up, nice and high, like you're making a smiling face with your body. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Keep pulling those shoulders out of the ears. Good. Last three. Your gaze should be at the floor the whole time. Okay guys, on your next one, I want you to lift and hold. And we keep our high position through the body as we flutter, arms and legs. Good, opposite arm and leg fluttering, like you're swimming. Keep lifting through the mid-back and the chest. Good, using your glutes to lift the legs higher for 10, 9, 8. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Pull your hands under your shoulders. We're going to push back into a nice shell stretch position. So again, keeping that space between your chest and your thighs. And pull the belly away from the legs. And you reach the arms forward. All right, you guys ready to plank? Let's just get it over and done with, and then we're done. So we are going to do a forearm plank. I prefer to do forearm planks sometimes because it is a bit more abdominal work and less strain on the wrists. So it's kind of a win-win. So I am going to start everybody off in a modified plank just so that you know where to go if you start to compensate through the body or if you get too tired. So I want you to come onto your forearms. I want your elbows underneath your shoulders. Your knees are going to go back. Make sure in your modified plank, I don't want your hips too low and I definitely don't want them too high. I want that long line through the body. So this is our modified plank. If you are going to come to a full plank, you tuck your toes and lift. That's it. Just hold. Make sure your hips don't come to a downward dog and they don't come to a worm position. Okay, nice and long straight line. Good. Just 15 more seconds. Keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, just take a nice shell stretch position. And you guys, we are all done. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. Feel free to go back and repeat any of those exercises if you feel like you just needed a little bit more time to get into them, or if you just want a little bit more burn in that area. Thank you so much for joining me. If you don't have resistance band and ankle weights at home, again, all of my workouts are going to be possible without any equipment. But if you know you're going to be working out at home for a while, it is a great investment to just make your workout just a little spicier. If anybody has any requests for future classes, like if you want more hamstrings, more quads, more booty, more arms, please feel free to comment below so I can see what you guys want. I love requests, so give me something to work with if you have anything specific you want. And thank you guys so much and hope to see you again soon. Bye.